Labor Day 1995. Great weather, great tennis, a great day to be in the Empire State, and specifically within earshot of Fay Ray here at the USDA National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, Queens. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to our Labor Day edition of Late Night at the U.S. Open. Mary Carrillo and I are delighted again to be joined by the four-time U.S. Open champion, Martina Navratilova, which is really fitting on this, a day when former U.S. Open champions were in the stadium court spotlight. Boris Becker, Monica Seles, and Andre Agassi. And it's clear they're playing great tennis, huh?
Second week ball, isn't it? I mean, you get through the first week. That's what all you guys always said. You know, you have to play through the first week just to get to the second week, Martina. And I think everybody stepped up today.
That's like the first four matches you just got to get through, and now the tournament really begins for the players that are in the quarterfinals. The chips are down, and Becker and Agassi and Seles are all playing great tennis right now.
Well, today the defending champion was matched against the 1991 NCAA champion, Jared Palmer, the pride of Stanford. And let's look at how Andre rolled into the quarters here at the Open. Here's Palmer serving love 140 love first set.
These two had never before played, but they knew each other as practice partners on Davis Cup. And Jared Palmer, I think, surprised a lot of us by how solidly he was able to perform from the baseline. Normally, Andre Agassi will hit you off the court. But Jared Palmer showed some great resilience from back there. This is one of the prettiest points of the match for him.
First set.
It's not easy to do.
Great variety of shots by Jared Palmer, and finishes it out with a topspin lob. Just too much angle and too much pace.
15-40.
Now the second set, Agassi serving 1-1-15 love.
Jared Palmer wants to do his business from the net, but it's a very hard thing to do against Agassi. Throughout the day, he tried to serve and volley, serve and stay back, chip and charge. But Agassi really played very, very well. I was impressed. This is 2-all in the second.
Jimmy Connors tennis there.
Yeah, Jared should have put that first overhead away. He thought he had the point one. And the second one, he couldn't believe he was still in the point.
Important thing is Agassi had a scare against Alex Correia a couple of nights ago. Since then, he has not dropped a set. He beat two-time U.S. Open winner Stefan Edberg in the last round, and he handled this guy in straight sets, too.
Well, he's not scared anymore, is he? He's playing with abandon, and later he joined us in the studio. How'd it feel out there today?
Felt pretty good, you know. I mean, I knew today I would have to be returning well, and when that wind's swirling out there, it's real difficult to get your confidence going early in the match. You kind of have to just bear down, make a lot of balls, get the lead, and allow the momentum of the match to kind of start giving you your confidence, and I felt like I managed to do that well today.
How do you change now? Where does your focus go, obviously, to win this thing again, now that you're in the quarterfinals? Do you change anything about yourself? Or about
you know, it's just you keep escalating as you go along. You know, the better that the players get, the more you have to raise your level of game, and you got to hope that you're playing your best tennis at the right time. As John knows, to win this tournament, it's difficult, and you have to play well, but you also need a little bit of luck. Peter wears that E-court as somebody that is pretty dangerous. So I look forward to kind of seeing how how that match goes. It'll be a good one.
John?
Yeah, what about today? It looked like today you were a little bit frustrated with your game. Was it the wind? Did it sort of bother you? Was it Jared? It seemed like he was playing at pretty much the top of his game.
Yeah, there's no question he was. He certainly has been even to get this far. But I feel like, I got up that early break, and when he got down the break, I think he loosened up a little bit. He started taking some big swipes at the ball, and when he was making them, I felt like actually he was keeping me off the offense from the ground. And anytime I'm not really controlling the points off the ground, it unsettles me a little bit, and I have to kind of figure out what I need to do to get back to the strengths of my game, and I managed to break him for the set, and I think that confidence allowed me to start dictating play again.
A lot of confidence there. What do you see with him in Korda?
I like Agassi against Korda. You know, Andre Agassi hasn't even played a seeded player. Korda is unseeded. It's great that he's made his way through, but I'm still anticipating an Andre Agassi-Boris Becker semifinal, a rematch of the Wimbledon semi that Agassi lost.
Should be an interesting match. I think Agassi is definitely going to be ready for some revenge here.
Yeah, fashion note, you guys like his hair that way?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I'm just curious. Monica, I do too. Monica Seles had more resistance today than in her earlier matches, but she was still too much for number 11, Anke Huber of Germany. Huber serving 2-2, 15 love in the second set.
from about 15 feet behind the baseline. It's amazing how much power she can generate.
These two played just 2 weeks ago at the Canadian Open, and Seles won in straight sets, dropping just 5 games. I think Huber learned a lot, though, from that match. Though Seles was going to outgun her and outrun her on the day, Huber did not go away, even when she lost the first set. I thought she battled well.
She was mixing it up better today.
A lot of question, or talk anyway, about whether or not Monica's in shape. What did you see today?
I thought she looked good. I really did think she looked good.
Well, she would look out of breath after a point like this one. She'll be huffing and puffing. This is actually serving a break point, which Huber did save, but then Monica won the next 2 points. She was huffing and puffing. By the next point, she comes back and hits the ball harder.
So she's in shape.
I think she's in good enough shape, and of course she's been practicing in Florida where it's been hot. She's ready for any weather here.
Afterwards, she came into the studio. We talked about her day. But do you have any question marks, your conditioning or your knee? Or
no, I'm just really happy to be playing and having a great time, and I'm in the quarters, and that's what I'll do my next match, and just going out there and playing some great tennis.
And you've said earlier you don't think you're going to win this. Now you're changing your mind a little bit?
I think the draw is very tough. Whoever is on this part of the side has to beat some top players. So right now I'm playing the number 4 player in the world, and that's all I think about.
Yeah. What was the deal with signing the lens there? Did the guy ask for an autograph and didn't have any paper?
I don't know. I don't know. What is he going to do with the lens, though?
Here's what you look like. Now, folks at home, if you hold a mirror,
oh my God.
If you hold a mirror up to this, it will say Monica Seles. You like signing those autographs afterwards, don't you? What do you take home from that with the kids out there?
Just a smile on the kid's face, because once when Bjorn Borg came to play a tennis tournament in Yugoslavia, he signed for me a ball, and I still have it in a glass enclosed case at my parents' house. So hopefully some kids will do the same with mine.
Years ago, Martina, you decided that you weren't going to sign your whole name. You just went to Martina and assumed that they knew what the rest of your name was.
My last name was so long, and I scribbled it so badly they couldn't read it anyway, so I figured I'll write Martina nicely instead of M. Navratilova lousily. So
you got the point about what it's like to play Monica.
Well, it's, she's like, it's a stampede. I mean, I think you feel like Pamplona when the Bulls are coming. You dodge one, but then another one hits you, because you just have to be so sharp. You play a great point, and you're so proud of yourself, and then you miss an easy one, and then you miss another easy one, and you're down 2 points to 1. And Monica just doesn't make those errors. You get tired mentally, you get tired physically, because you have to run so much harder, because she hits the ball so hard that you have to really be quick off the mark. You get tired physically, and she wears you down emotionally.
Martina, thanks for stopping in.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you later in the week. Still to come here, Boris Becker and more as Late Night rolls on for workers and their bosses and for everybody everywhere who loves tennis. Stay with us here on CBS. Conchita Martinez, the 1994 Wimbledon champion and the last remaining Spanish hope here at this year's U.S. Open, was matched up on the grandstand against Zina Garrison-Jackson, the popular veteran from Houston. Here's Zina in the first set tiebreak, 5-5.
There wasn't much between these two at all in this tiebreak. Zina Garrison-Jackson was trying very hard to play from the net. But she knew she had made an error there by popping up that volley, so Conchita Martinez was able to secure the first set. But things stayed close in the second, too.
We call Zina a veteran. This is her 16th consecutive U.S. Open.
She was operating behind a break in the second set, but then she dropped serve again, and Martinez was just a little bit too strong from the baseline. Had some nice work up at the net as well. Puts that one away. The fans were very pro-Garrison-Jackson. She had announced her retirement, then she sort of got talked out of it, wasn't ready to give up. They were really pulling for an upset here. But again, Martinez just a little bit too solid still.
And with the win for Conchita, this matches her best performance at the Open, a quarterfinal appearance in '91. She talked about that.
I think the whole match was very tough, and we both had to fight a lot, and especially me, to win the match. And I think the tiebreaker was quite a tough one. I mean, she broke me, I broke her, and we had a very tough points, and finally I was lucky to win it.
Bit of an upset over there today as the number 7 seed, Kamiko Date, met Brenda Schultz-McCarthy, who's having a great U.S. Open, right, Mary?
She's had a very fine year in all, Patrick. You're right. I mean, she's got more discipline. She's got a tremendous serve. And she really took it to Kimiko Date. I mean, if you've got a serve as big as Brenda Schultz-McCarthy's, you're going to win a lot of matches on a fast court. And even though she committed 16 double faults today, her serve was still big enough to get her out of trouble a lot.
Fastest women's server since 1990, clocked this year at 116. Record's 120, that's hers.
And she stayed nice and calm. You know, even after it went to a third set, Schultz-McCarthy knew she had a great-looking shot at this year's U.S. Open. These cool, dry conditions are just perfect for this very tall Dutch woman. Really the most accomplished Dutch player since Betty Stova in the 70s.
And Jana Novotná and Katerina Studeníková this afternoon. Here's Studeníková serving 2-4 deuce in the first set.
These two are from the same part of the world, but they play very different styles of tennis. Jana Novotná, the only real true serve and volleyer left in this draw. And she looked very good. She wanted to attack, and she can do it. And we all remember how close she got to winning Wimbledon a couple of years ago before choking against Steffi Graf in the third set. She's had good success at the U.S. Open before, Novotná, and her coach, Hanna Mandlikova, won this thing in '85. So she knows what has to happen. A lot of that nice-looking stuff. And Jana Novotná wants very, very badly to be going up against Monica Seles. And with this win today, that's just where she finds herself.
Yep. And so the women quarterfinals are set. And what do you make of this year's Elite Eight, Mary?
No, Graf has beaten Frazier the only 2 times that they have played. Fernandez and Sabatini have played each other 473 times. I know that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but Sabatini has actually only won 1 of their 5 Grand Slam meetings, and that was here when she won the U.S. Open back in 1990. Brenda Schultz and Conchita, again, if Schultz can come up with the goods and serve as big as she can serve, maybe she can even beat Conchita Martinez. Novotná Seles, I think Novotná will really try to take it to Seles, but the way Monica played today, I think she'll get through there.
Hard to believe Zena's been around here for 16 years, huh?
Yeah, it's nice to see her around. I mean, she really did try hard, and she brought a lot of pleasure to a lot of us, but her road is, it's ended now.
Okay, when we come back here, we'll update the men's side as we continue later into this Labor Day night here on CBS. Stay with us. 1989 U.S. Open champion Boris Becker, the number 4 seed here this year, opened the Labor Day action on the stadium court against number 13 Marc Rosset. Becker, a finalist at Wimbledon, well, he's fit, focused, and feisty, Mary.
He played beautiful ball. He did. He came out very strongly against Rosset, scrambling there, but the big guy from Switzerland is not a great mover. Boris Becker, even though he's a very large man himself, moved beautifully. He served well. He returned big against Rosset, one of the most dangerous servers in men's tennis. I mean, all in all, a very composed and convincing 3-set win over Marc Rosset.
And all that conversation about Agassi and Sampras, I assume we put Boris Becker in that conversation.
I'd throw him right in.
Well, that was the opening match on the stadium court as Boris Becker advances. The last match was Patrick McEnroe and Daniel Vacek tonight, and McEnroe wins in straight sets.
Absolutely delighting his fellow New Yorkers. This was one of the great points of the first set tiebreak. McEnroe up 9-8.
And the McEnroe family has been cheering their kids here for almost 20 years now, believe it or not. That was a nice win for Patrick. There they are. Another 4th-round play today. Peter Korda of the Czech Republic down 21-year-old Vince Spadea. Korda next plays Andre Agassi in the quarterfinals. And Mary, as of this hour, 12 men are left, including 8 seeds. Well, we talked about that Agassi-Sampras final. Now inevitable, or? What do you think?
No, not necessarily. Yeah. Patrick McEnroe beat Boris Becker in the first round of the Australian Open this year, the first major. So Becker's not necessarily through, although I would throw Agassi through. I think Michael Chang will come through. That Courier-Mooster match will be a war for sure. But I do think that Pete Sampras, if he serves a little bit better, he'll take out Todd Morton and should make his way through. But that's a tough one.
A lot of big guns left in this tournament. Fun to look at that. Next up, the softer side of Andre Agassi, as opponents on the court never see. We'll be back at the U.S. Open after this message and a word from your very own local station. Here's Andre Agassi with his game face on as he applied the final charmer to Jared Palmer.
7-5, 6-3, 6-2.
But on the Friday before the Open, Andre had a different look, and as Andrea Joyce can confirm, Andre indeed likes change.
He doesn't have his golden locks, but Andre Agassi is clearly the golden boy of this year's Open. Even back when Andre Agassi was struggling, he still had a pretty impressive following. But now that he's #1 in the world, an Agassi appearance like this one in New York Central Park is an occasion for some big-time hero worship. Thousands of youngsters showed up for a smash tennis clinic. Kids who want to be like Andre.
I think he's really good. I want to be like him when I grow up. I love him. He's the best.
And look like him, too.
Geez, I don't really look like that, do I?
Andre's off-court image has come full circle. No longer criticized for being style without substance, the #1 player in the world is now a young man with goals beyond the game.
I think hope is the greatest thing anybody can have, and it's the greatest thing you can give anybody. I want to, run into people who thank me for somehow changing their life, and that's what I think is going to be the most fulfilling.
The Andre Agassi Foundation does a lot of good things for a lot of good kids all over this country. Congratulations, Andre. We'll be back to wrap up the Labor Day weekend when Late Night continues from the U.S. Open right after this.